All right, welcome to the final of Shanghai, the battle of the cousins. Apparently, I heard, and it may not be true because you never know, but apparently both of their mums are twin sisters. And that's how they are related through being cousins. Vacherot taking on Rinderknech in a 1,000 final. They're both beating lots of good players to get here, so it's not like they've just got here by accident and no one, they didn't beat anyone to get here. They both beat multiple good players to get here, including Zverev and Medvedev for Rinderknech, also FAA. And then on Vacherot's side, he beat, obviously, Djokovic in the last round. He's beaten Brunner along the way as well. And he's come through the qualies, and multiple times he's had to come back from a set down to win. So he has worked his ass off to get here. Both are trying to win their first ATP title, which is wild because you would have thought maybe Rinderknech at 30 would have had an ATP title, but he has no titles. He has no titles. 26-year-old Vacherot, he's getting to, he's just getting started, really. Both went to college at Texas A&M. That's why Vacherot, we haven't heard of him much because usually the college players, they really get onto the tour at 22, 23 years old. And then, start their careers at that age rather than the guys and the girls who start at 16, 17, playing ATP events or WTA events. That's why we haven't heard much of Vacherot until this week. Both have similar games. Both, they're related. So they both kind of have that similar body type where they're tall, they're pretty slim as well. They're not really big, powerful guys, but they've got big serves. And yeah, that's what we're watching. Apparently, this is the third all-unseeded final in ATP 1000 history since 1999, because the ATP was founded in 1999, became the tour in 1999. So the third time in ATP 1000 history that we have an all-unseeded final. One of those was in Hamburg 96, where Korecha, before he kind of popped off, he went down to Carretero, and Henman in Paris 03 was unseeded, beat Pavel in the final of that tournament. So, yeah. But this is more significant because back then, 1,000 event finals, they could be between guys that were outside the seeds because, top 16 players were seeded. Here, it was the top 32 seeds. So, to have these guys in the final is even more incredible considering that this tournament has been beefed out and it is a 2-week Masters and it's got 32 seeds. So the fact that the 32 seeds, none of the seeds could get to the final is incredible. And the fact that these two guys beat most of them. So here we go. Let's see what this final looks like. Now they've got the women's final of Wuhan after this as well, which is going to be Pegula versus Gauff. Much more familiar matchup and much more familiar players there in a big 1,000 over there. But yeah, I'm torn with this because good for them, right? Good for Rinderknech, good for Vacherot, great, love that for them. But it just as tennis overall on the men's side of things, maybe Vacherot becomes a top 20 guy, and maybe he is one of maybe he does become a threat, but it just kind of shows where everybody's at the moment. Alcaraz didn't play. Obviously, Sinner had to retire because of cramp. Djokovic is 38 years old. He's only getting older. And it just shows kind of all right. And then after that, there's a massive drop-off. And especially this time of year, everybody's tired, right? So it's just, as much as it's great to see the cousins playing each other and all that stuff and two new players, people want different champions. I don't know if everybody wanted so different. I think when we meant different, at least when I meant different, I was thinking maybe Rune could win, right? Or maybe somebody outside the top 10, but inside the top 20, right? Not some, maybe Demon or Musetti, right? Different champion, but this is way different. And I hope that it's not just a one and done. Rinderknech has had a great year, by the way. It's not just he's had one good week. He's been really good all year. He's been a threat to multiple big names throughout the year. Also last year, I think he took Alcaraz to 3 sets in a grass court tournament. So he's a very dangerous player overall. Beaten Zverev at Wimby, right? And Vacherot, well, he's just getting started, hopefully, as well. So, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a strange final. Is it a reflection of a tour without Sinner? A little bit, maybe. But hopefully, it's not just one and done for either of these guys, and they both can do it again, and they can both, be a threat. Maybe Rinderknech makes a semi-final of a slam next year, right? If he wins this title, or even if he loses. Hopefully, it's not just like this is the best week of their careers, and now it's over. That's the optimism in me. It's Vacherot, not Vacherot. That's all right. I'm going to say it the way I say it, and you can just block your ears if you don't like it. I'm trying my best. But thanks for yelling at me. Appreciate that. You're really, really friendly. Hollywood story of underdogs. Yeah. I mean, Vacherot winning would be historic, right? Because coming from the qualies. Let me go through who they've played. So we'll start with Rinderknech because he obviously didn't play quali, so I can actually read out everything he did before I have to change the page. So he was unseeded. He took out Medvedev in the first round. He actually was down a set before Medvedev retired, so slight fortune there. Then he took out Mickelson, who's had a pretty good season. Then he beat Zverev, which was the big one. Takes out Lehechka in the fourth round. Then FAA, who's also been pretty good. Medvedev, who was having a bit of a renaissance this week, and now he's in the final. So not an easy road. Not like he avoided anybody. You beat Zverev, number 3 seed. You beat Lehechka, had a great year. Having a good year. So is Mickelson. So is FAA. Right, FAA's been great the last couple of months. And then Vacherot, he was this is where the story is, right? He wasn't even supposed to be playing in the qualies. He got in because lots of players through the main draw so this is how it works, right? Players in the main draw they withdrew because we had a lot of withdrawals, Alcaraz being one of them. In fact, if I go to the official withdrawals, so Rinderknech was also not supposed to play main draw. He was supposed to be in the qualies. And then he came in because Poprin pulled out. So he replaced Poprin in the main draw. Because the entry list was a couple of months ago, he came in as a replacement for Poprin, according to the internet. So Vacherot, because there were so many withdrawals, he was able to get into the qualies because of his ranking, and he was unseeded in the qualies. He took out who did he take out? He took out a couple of tricky names too. Where was it? I literally just saw it. Okay, Basevaretti in the first round came back from a set down. And he also came back from a set down against Draxl, the Canadian. So took out both the seeds to make the main draw, and then that's where the fun really started, where he started to go just going crazy. So he beat Jera in the first round, then he beat Bublik from a set down. He took out Mahach, even though Mahach was, had to retire. He still was up 6-love, 3-1 before that happened. He comes back from a set down against Griekspoor. He comes back from a set down against Rune. And then he takes out Novak Djokovic in straight sets. And of course, we've got to mention that Novak was not his best self, right? Still a great win. I think the Rune win, Vacherot beating Rune, I think that's even though Rune was cramping, everybody's cramping this week. But I think the Rune match really showed that how good Vacherot is. But also, we watched Vacherot yesterday with Djokovic. Even though Djokovic wasn't great in the first set, he was sore, he was clearly injured, Vacherot still had to beat that guy. I mean, many players have played Djokovic and lost to an injured Djokovic. Just because Novak's got one leg doesn't mean he doesn't want to win, right? And even in the second set, Djokovic had, first game of the second went for like 10 minutes. Vacherot had chances to break. Djokovic was like hanging on. He holds on, and eventually Vacherot breaks a 4-all. But playing an injured Djokovic is not easy because you just can't count Novak out ever. We've seen him win Grand Slams on one leg, right? So that's where we're at, and that's how they got here. If you want to go through why is this the final? I'll tell you why this is the final. Alcaraz he withdrew before the tournament started because he has an ankle injury. Apparently, it's actually pretty dodgy too. It's not it wasn't like, he just started practicing again this week. So, yeah, his ankle was legitimately bad. Sinner was cramping. He had to withdraw because he couldn't finish the match against Griekspoor. Rinderknech beat Zverev. Vacherot beat Djokovic. Fritz lost to Pirikar, but he looked very tired. Shelton's coming back from a long injury delay. He lost in the second round. Demon lost to Medvedev in the quarters. Musetti lost in the fourth round to FAA. Very tough matchup. Felix then lost to Rinderknech. Hashanov lost in the second round early on in the tournament. He lost to... I don't even know where he lost. I mean, that happened. So he lost to Jerry Zhang, the wild card. So that wasn't great. Rude retired. The number 11 seed, obviously, Rune lost to Vacherot as well. Rublev lost second round very early on in one of the big upsets of the first couple of days to Nishioka, which was disappointing for Rublev. Bublik lost to one of these guys. Lehechka lost to one of these guys, and so did Medvedev. And then Menchik, I think Menchik was sore as well, but he lost second round to De Jong, but I think he was also not feeling great. So, yeah, that's how we got here. That's where all the seeds. What happened to all the seeds? That's what happened to them. That's what happened to them. What worst final ever? Yeah, but you're still here. So, yeah, welcome. Rinderknech might be better, if anything. I felt Vacherot was not up to par once Nole started to play well. Yeah, I don't know what to expect from this match. I don't know. I mean, I think it's 50-50. I went Vacherot for the for the story. I think if he wins, and also because he's younger, I think again for the give me that for the future of both of these guys, I think there's a brighter future for Vacherot because he's a little bit younger, right? If Vacherot won, maybe it's the start of something. He's only 26. Rinderknech, if he wins, I mean, look, he could play to a 35, he could play to a 40, Rinderknech. But, I feel like if Vacherot winning maybe it's better for the future, because then we can look back and go, oh, remember that Vacherot got maybe in 2 years, he can, over the next 2-3 years, we can watch his journey. Whereas, Rinderknech could be retired in 2 years, right? 32 is not the youngest age to retire. Players retire at that age all the time. So, yeah, I think I picked Vacherot to win just because the qualifier winning at 1,000 would be historic and memorable as well. I think everyone will remember that. I don't know how many people remember if Rinderknech won the title, unless it was the start of something incredible and then he started to become, post 30, late bloomer, doing his thing like we've seen a few players do in the history of tennis, right? For the time of the season, this isn't an unexpected final. The top players are playing too much. Yeah, but they have to play. I think a round of final is nice sometimes, just because it's interesting. Obviously, it wouldn't be so good if every final was like this. Yeah. By the way, neither of these players have won a title. This is they're both trying to win their first title ever, which is pretty incredible as well. Yep, they're cousins. I think related. Their mums are sisters, is what I was reading. But then again, that could be not true. But I think their mums are sisters. Yeah, first title for both. Yep. Obviously, Vacherot is getting here for the first time. But Rinderknech, Mia, what are you doing? Give me that toy. 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 Rinderknech has been around for a lot longer. Made the fourth round of the US Open this year. So again, he hasn't been playing bad. Third round of Wimbledon this year as well. So Rinderknech has been playing very, very well this season. He did make the final of Adelaide back in 2022, lost to Kokkinakis back then. So this is his second ATP final of his career. But obviously the biggest final of his career. He's also played the Challenger circuit. He actually won a Challenger event last year. Did Rinderknech on the indoor hard courts in France. He has won 6 Challenger events, has Rinderknech. And also these guys have played doubles together. They have paired up and played some doubles together. Obviously training partners as well over the time. They've hit together many times. They have played on the Challenger circuit once, or the Futures. But the ITF event is with a 4-0 from Rinderknech, and then a lovely volley from Vacherot to start the match. And Vacherot, he has won 4 challenger events. All of those were on hard courts, and he lost 1 clay court challenger event this year, back in Italy in May. So he is, again, these guys are, well, Vacherot is definitely a challenger level player to this point, and Rinderknech is sort of that, 50 to 100 in the world for the most part of his career so far. But both these guys will be looking at career high rankings no matter what happens today. As Vacherot gets to 30 love, Rinderknech is going to be top 30 by the end of this today. No matter what happens, 28 in the world if he loses. He will be 23 in the world if he wins. And Vacherot is 58 in the world if he loses. And if he wins, he will be in the top 40 about 40 in the world. He'll be 40 in the world. So, So both these guys career high. And for Vacherot, he's in the top 100 for the first time ever. Federer's watching. Did I miss that? Okay. Federer's there. About time. He's been like, what's he been doing? How are they not from the same country? Because one is from Monaco and one is from France, but Monaco is in France or is like connected to France. So it's just one's from France and the other one's from Monaco. I don't know where Rinderknech. Well, look, my cousins don't live next door to me, so you can have cousins from other countries. You know that, right? I know people who have cousins in Europe, and they're from Australia. Like that's not normal. That's not unusual. But France and Monaco are next door neighbors, so. So Vacherot was he was born in France. I'm not going to even mention that now. They were both born in France, but maybe Vacherot's maybe his dad was from Monaco, or maybe there was more opportunity for him in Monaco. And the federation were willing to fund him or something. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons why players play for different places, but then again, like I said, Monaco's not that different to France. So yeah. One love. Vacherot is with a 4 now. Slice from Vacherot. A volley of Rinderknech. That's too good. 15 love. 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 Oh, his mum's from Monaco. Oh, their mums are from Monaco. Oh, okay, there you go. So even Rinderknech's mum's from Monaco as well then. There you go. 30 love. Oh yeah, Roger's there. He's just chilling. 30 love. And we serve from Rinderknech. As a return goes the 400 of Rinderknech. Good drop shot. Vacherot gets it and hits a winner down the line. Beautiful shot, 30-15. This match is going to be like an exhibition match. Yeah, so I don't care what you think. If you don't like this match, that's fine. But we're gonna even if you don't think this is a 1,000 level, whatever you think about this match. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But we're gonna respect these guys for making it this far. They haven't just got here by accident. They didn't get gifted the final. They both worked their ass off to get here. They both beat big names to get here. They were better than everybody else, so they're here. So if you don't like it and you're going to be disrespectful to these guys, you can leave. Because we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. I'm not making jokes that the final. This has been like a final that whatever. I'm respecting these guys, so I want you to do the same. We don't come in here if you don't want to be here. Come back and watch the ladies if you want to see a top 10 clash. We're going to watch that later. 1-1. All right, 1-1. I feel like we're going to get at least a tie break or two in this. I'm thinking we're getting some tie breaks. 1-0. Now, come here. All right, 1-1. Give me a toy. Give me a toy. Whoop. All right, 1-1. As Vacherot serves. Massive serve. 15 love. 15 love. All right, serving to the forehand of Rinderknech. Vacherot with a forehand cross court. Rinderknech gets it back to the forehand of Vacherot, and Vacherot hits it wide. It's 15-0. As Vacherot loses the point, 15-30. 15-30. As we return now to Vacherot. Vacherot hits it long. All right, 15-40. Rinderknech to take the break to start this final. All right, 15-40. As the return goes in the corner of Vacherot. Backhand now from Rinderknech, and then Vacherot with a lovely volley. Up goes a lob, and Vacherot in the net with a smash. There's the break. Goes to the older cousin. 2-1. I don't think they'll go easy on each other because they're cousins. Hell no, you'd go even crazier. If you're playing against, if I was playing my cousin in tennis, I would try and beat them 6-love. I wouldn't. Why would you, there's no way they're going to play nice. Are you serious? You think they're going to just play nice because they're related? You don't know what you've never played your cousins in sports. Trust me, I played my cousins in many sports, and nobody holds back. it's brutal. Nobody pulls punches. So these guys aren't going to be playing nice. All right. First break goes to Rinderknech. These names are hard to say. Pick a nickname, Cam. Why don't you stop telling me what to do? Like every stream. Please. Thank you. Thank you for trying to direct the show, but it's okay. I got this. You just sit back and relax and just relax. You don't need to. We got. I've done this before. It's all right. Like Serena and Venus go full on? Yeah, exactly. What are you eating? Oh, you wrecked it, did you? No, we can't have that one. Come here. You got one. That's good. All right. 2-1. Rinderknech with a break. As we return out of Rinderknech forehand. Vacherot forehand. Into the forehand of Rinderknech. So we get forehand to forehand rally. Vacherot forehand again. Rinderknech goes in the net. Love 15. Yeah, Deb's not here to moderate, so I'm going to have to moderate. And it's either I'm just trying to give everybody a chance. I'm being too nice. Love 15. Trying to reason with the people that are going crazy. It's just everybody just chill, all right? Love 15. You right? Okay. Forehand to forehand rally. And Vacherot goes down the line to the slice of Rinderknech as we get a slice from Vacherot. And then Rinderknech forehand cross-court winner. They've got very loopy forehands, but like lots of top spin and angles, which is great. Which is great fun to see. All right. 15 all. They're very similar types of, like they play very similar games, which is interesting. Like they both play a very similar style. Both crafty shot makers. They do have that French flair, like they don't go for like the orthodox, like the easy. It's more unorthodox. You know what I mean? Like they'll hit the drop shots. They'll come to the net with like try and hit drop volleys and slice. Do all these French flair things. You know what I'm saying? We watch enough French players to know like what the French flair is. They both got that. Like they'll slice and dice. They'll come to the net. They'll try different shots. They'll do things. They won't go for the power forehand. They'll go for the angles. As that goes wide by Vacherot, and it's 30-15. 30-15. As the return goes in the net by Vacherot, and it's 40-15. As Rinderknech serves again. As we get a let from Rinderknech. By the way, women's final in Wuhan is starting in about an hour and a half. Gauff taking on Pegula, which is going to be a good final, hopefully. So I'll be watching that one next. 40-30. As Rinderknech shoves again to go to 3-1. As return goes out, 3-1 to Rinderknech. Djokovic didn't do a press conference? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yesterday he did. Didn't I do a press conference yesterday? I didn't see it. What did he say? Somebody asked, how's the injury? And he said, no. He said, he didn't. They said, do you want to elaborate on the injury? He said, no, next question. That's what I read. that he decided, he said, no, I don't know. And then he didn't want to talk about the injury, so. But he did a press conference. Yeah, down. But yeah, he didn't go into detail on the injury, so, which is not a good thing. Because, if he doesn't want to talk about it, then maybe it's not good. Yeah, it says, can you talk about your physical condition? He wrote, no, next question, please. It was a very short press conference. And they were trying to ask, they asked him about, oh, you're going to, Saudi Arabia next week, or you're going to have some rest. What are you going to do? And he's like, I don't want to talk about me. It's all about Vacherot. He's great. He did really well. He played better than me today. He won. So, they tried to get him to talk about his injury, but he's like, leave me alone. So. All right, 30 love. As a return goes out by Rinderknech, and it's 40 love. All right, first serve was a fault, second serve. As the return goes out by Rinderknech, and it's 3-2. All right, 3-2. Now, chat. I would be a hypocrite if we didn't use this opportunity to learn about some players that we've never watched before. We have watched Rinderknech before, and like I say, when we watch Eala, it gives us a great opportunity to learn about players we don't know. So today's a great opportunity, maybe not in the setting we expected, but it's a great opportunity to learn about two players that you may not know about. Maybe you've never watched them before. So we know about the cousins, we know their cousins, we know all that stuff. But let's talk about their seasons and give them a little bit of respect, especially Rinderknech, because he is not a one-tournament wonder. He has had a great year this year. He is not just, popped out of nowhere, and he's been around. We've seen him a couple of times this year. He has had a good season. So, currently ranked 54 in the world. His career high was actually back in 2022, but he's going to have a career high after this. So this year, before this week, he has had a very decent season. 31 wins, 31 losses. But it's not really about the win-loss. It's more about who he's beaten. So, he has played Alcaraz twice, and he has played Sinner as well. He played Sinner at Roland Garros first round. Lost in straight sets, but it was a close straight sets. He did push Alcaraz at the US Open in the first set. And then Alcaraz kind of ran away with it after that in the fourth round of that US Open. So, lost to Carlos there. And then he also played Alcaraz at the Queen's Club quarterfinals. And first set was close, but lost in straights. He obviously beat Zverev here. He's also beat Zverev at Wimbledon this year in a 5-set epic first round. He's played Fritz, Ruud, and Demonor. He lost to all of those guys on the hard courts, but he did push Demon in Beijing a couple of weeks ago to a third-set tiebreak. So, again, that could have been another top 10 win. He did beat Shelton, though, at Queen's Cup on the grass as a lucky loser before he took on Alcaraz in that quarterfinal. So he did beat Shelton, who was number 10 in the world at the time. He's also beaten, obviously, Auger-Aliassime this week. He's beaten Ruud in Cincinnati. He played Ruud on the clay courts. He lost in straight sets there. But he did play Tiafoe at the Australian Open. First round, lost in 5. But again, could have had... And Big Foe at the start of the year was, top 20. So could have been another big win there for him. He's obviously beat Medvedev and Lehechka this week. He beat Davidovich Fokina at the US Open. He was 18 in the world at the time. He's actually played Auger-Aliassime 3 times this year. He's beaten him the last couple of days ago, but he lost the first 2 they played. He's also beaten Shapovalov this year. He's obviously beaten Mickelson this week. So he's had some decent results. He's had some tough opponents early in these big tournaments, but he has beaten a couple of top 10 guys this year. Now, if we talk about his whole career, his best win of his career by ranking was this week against Zverev, and also at Wimbledon against Zverev. So before this year, hadn't beaten a top 10 guy. This year he's beaten 3 top 10 guys, or had 3 top 10 wins this season. So, again, career best year before this week for Rinderknech. Like I said, his best ranking is 42 in the world. That was back in 2022 October. You might be thinking, how did he get there? What did he do? Well, I'll find that out for you in 20 seconds. 40 love. As Rinderknech tries to get to 4-2. 7 to the back end of Vacherot. Vacherot on the net. And Rinderknech holds. So, October 2022, he actually made the quarterfinals of Basel. But before that, he made the semifinals. Actually, going back to post-US Open 2022, he lost to Medvedev in the second round in 2022 US Open. He made the Metz quarterfinals, Tel Aviv quarterfinals, semifinals of Gijon, and quarterfinals of Basel as a qualifier. And he lost to Rune in Basel at the end, and then he lost in Paris to Draper, who at the time was around the same ranking, but Draper, obviously, we know how good he is now. But yeah, he finished the year off in 2022, quarterfinal, semifinal, quarterfinal, and got to a career high ranking. So that's where that 42 in the world came from. Now, of course, he's going to be higher ranked than that, but that was his best run of tournaments before this season. So there you go. All right, 15 love. Vacherot trying to level. Hold. As with a forehand out of the back end of Rinderknech. Forehand now from Vacherot. Into the forehand of Rinderknech. As Vacherot forehand to the back end of Rinderknech. Into the slice of Vacherot. As Rinderknech comes in with a smash, but he overhits it badly. And it's 30 love. 30 love. All right, 30 love. As the return goes short, Vacherot comes in and puts away the forehand. That's 40 love. Mm-hmm. 40 love. As the return goes into the forehand of Vacherot. Rinderknech passing shot winner. 40-15. Serves the fault out wide. Second serve. Serve to the front of Rinderknech. Backing up from Vacherot. As Rinderknech goes down the line. And, bad bounce. A dead spot on the court. Or just great slice. And Vacherot had an air swing. Hey, what are you doing? All right, 40-30. All right, 40-30. And double fold, all right, from 40 love to deuce. All right, deuce. As Vacherot gets to advantage. Advantage Vacherot. As return goes to forehand of Vacherot. Forehand now from Rinderknech. Vacherot with a lovely volley. Rinderknech with another backhand, and then Vacherot hits it back, but Rinderknech puts away the forehand winner. And it's deuce. We get to deuce. By the way, French champions at 1,000 level. I'm going to let you guys answer that question because I am reading it. So, can you name all the French 1,000 champions? And bonus points if you can guess the tournaments they won and the year. Can you guess which French players have won 1,000 titles since 1990? Because 1990 was when the ATP started. Tsonga is the obvious answer. That's the obvious answer. That's the top answer. What do they do on Family Feud? Top answer. So yeah, Tsonga is on the board. Piolini is on the board. That's a good one. That was maybe less obvious. As Vacherot comes to the net with a volley, Rinderknech puts a backhand down the line wide, and it's 4-3. Vacherot hangs on. Sebastian Grosjean is correct. We're talking about on the ATP only. Yes. He is Grosjean, yes, is on the board. And can anybody name... There's only one more player. But nobody's named the tournament, so we obviously only know the answers. Humbert hasn't won a 1,000. Gasquet hasn't won a 1,000 either, which is a bit interesting. And neither has Monfils. Forget, that's it. So I'm going to give you the answers because you're probably never going to guess them anyway. Because, I mean, except for Tsonga, you might guess his. But Forget won 1,000 titles. Cincinnati 91 and Paris Indoors 91. Tsonga won 2 as well in Paris Indoors 2008 and he won Toronto 2014. Grosjean won Paris in 2001 and Piolini won Monte Carlo in 2000. So he's the only one who has won a clay court Masters 1000 from France. So there you go. By the way, lowest ranked players to win a 1,000 title. If Vacherot does win this, he will become the lowest ranked Masters 1000 champion in tennis. Beating out Coric, who was 152 at the time in 2022 when he won Cincy. So he'll be the lowest ranked 1,000 champion of all time. So there you go. There you go. We've actually had some, over the last 5 years, we've actually had a couple of really low-ranked 1,000 champions. Coric in 2022, Cincinnati. We had Poprin in 2024, Montreal. He was 62 in the world, which is the fourth lowest-ranked player of all time. And Menchik in Miami this year was 54 in the world, which is the sixth lowest ranking for a 1,000 champion. So there you go. And as I said, they still have actually only played one time officially. That was on the indoor hard courts of France in 2018 in a futures event. Rinderknech won 2 and 4 back in 2018. So that's the only time they've ever played. Officially. They would have unofficially played a lot. Obviously through practices and training. All right, forehand now from Vacherot as Rinderknech comes down with a volley. Vacherot with a backhand pass. Too good. It's love 15. Love 15. 15 love. I love 15, sorry. There's a bit of fault from Rinderknech, second serve. 30 minutes played, by the way. Who's the best French tennis player ever? Noah's the most accomplished, but I think Tsonga. And I'm pretty sure we played this game already. 15-0. Yannick Noah has a slam, which maybe makes him superior to Tsonga, but I think Tsonga's overall career was better. Besides, like, the slam is the biggest difference. But if you take the slam away, and if you include doubles, then it's definitely Noah. But I think it's got to be Tsonga. Because Noah's slam was great, but Tsonga won a lot of other trophies outside of the slams. Also, I think, we've played this game already. I'm pretty sure Noah didn't make a final of the slam, or didn't do much outside of the French. And Tsonga had over, I mean, we can talk about who they played. I mean, you can only play who's in that era, but Noah made a semi-final. He made only 2 semi-finals in his career. One in Australia, one in France, and he obviously won the one in France. But Tsonga's like Grand Slam results, I think, are a lot better and consistently better. You just needed a trophy to kind of. It's kind of like the Russia argument, right? Is Medvedev the best Russian tennis player, or is Safin, or is Kafelnikov? And it's kind of like, well, Safin and Kafelnikov have more slams, but is Medvedev got more everything else, like weeks at number one and stuff? Like it's similar, like an interesting debate between Tsonga and Noah. Like you can say that, oh well, they've got more slams. True. But, I mean, yeah, Safin and Kafelnikov, that's a very interesting argument to see who's better out of those two. But then also you got to talk about Medvedev because he made more finals of slams than I think both of them. 40-30. Whew. 40-30. There's a backhand return, goes in the net by Vacherot, and it's Rinderknech with the 5-3 lead. All right. All right. Let's see. Vacherot serving to stay in the set. I'll be gutted when Lamont retires. He's retiring next year. Sorry. Forehand goes into the backhand slice of Rinderknech. As we'll find out from Vacherot, Rinderknech puts it in the net, and it's 15 love. $15 love. As he serves an ace, Vacherot, and it's 30 love. Lacoste was a tennis player. I only knew him from the crocodile sign. Yeah, Henri Lacoste was a French tennis player. Oh, Well, who is it? Henri? No, who's is it Rene? It's Rene Lacoste. Hang on. Who's the other guy then? Yeah, Rene Lacoste was a French tennis player. Won the French Open a bunch. It was Henri Cochet. That's who was like one of his biggest rivals. We played this game already as well. Henri Cochet was like his biggest nemesis. Like that was like Nadal Federer back in the 1920s. That was like the Fadal of the 1920s. Cochet versus Lacoste. And then Fred Perry was like hanging around somewhere. Bill Tilden. Chad, I'll tell you, Chad, you want to go down rabbit holes? Just go look at like 1920s tennis. Go look at that. If you want to go down a rabbit hole, go down the rabbit hole. It's nice and fun. And then you learn about all these players that, started, like they built this game. Players like that built this game. 40-15. As Rinderknech hits it long and Vacherot holds. Vacherot holds. And he forces his cousin to fight and serve for this set. You want to go down a rabbit hole, you go look at like 1930s tennis and check out all the players that won slams back then and talk about those guys. And the ladies, because on the French side for the ladies, you had Susan Longland, who was just kicking ass, I could be wrong, but Rinderknech looks more tired to me right now. Yeah, but he's winning, so as long as he holds, then it doesn't matter if he's too tired. He can take a break in the second. All right. By the way, chat, draw previews for next week's tournaments come out because next week is a very important week on the WTA. ATP, it's not as important. WTA, though, very important. We've only got 3 more weeks of the WTA season proper before the WTA finals. So, yeah, we've only got 3 weeks left, or 4 weeks left of the WTA, which is a little bit sad because it's been so good. You don't want it to end. On the men's side of things, we've got, 4 more weeks on the men's side, plus the ATP finals and the Davis Cup. So, we've still got plenty of time for the men's, and then the next gen finals, which is in December. But on the women's side, yeah, things are wrapping up. A lot of players are going to play their last matches this week and next week and the week after. And then they'll be done until January. But yeah, Ningbo and Osaka next week. Ningbo is very important. There's 4 players that are trying to get to the WTA finals, and they're all playing next week for those 500 points. And Osaka's kind of bit stacked. I mean, it's got Naomi Osaka playing. It's got Noskova, who's been playing great. Fernandez. Who else is playing? Zachary, Eala. Andreescu's playing as well. So it's a pretty interesting event. We'll be watching both of those events next week. And then we'll watch the Six Kings Slam as well, which is on Wednesday, I think. All right. Rinderknech 7 for the set. All right. Seven to the forehand of Vacherot. Forehand now from Rinderknech, and then Vacherot with a backhand flick, but Rinderknech is at the net, puts it away. 15 love. Favorite for the WTA and ATP finals. WTA finals, no idea. ATP finals, probably Alcaraz. But WTA finals, maybe Anisimova? Maybe, I don't know. First serve is a fault, second serve. $15 love. There's a bit of forehand. Winner from Rinderknech, 30 love. $30 love. First serve is a fault, second serve. And then Vacherot in the net, 40 love. Rinderknech to take the first set. He does with an ace. All right, Rinderknech takes the first 6-4. All right. All right, first set goes to Rinderknech. Pretty clean set by him. 14 winners, 9 errors, 4 aces included. Vacherot, 7 winners and 11 errors. What's my favorite match on the WTA so far? Australian Open semi-final. Keys Swiatek was epic. But honorable mention, French Open final, and also the semis of the US Open. I think the semis of the US Open between Pegula and Sabalenka might be the highest level match we've watched all year. I don't think it's gotten much higher level than that. It wasn't as epic as the match we saw yesterday, but I think Pegula versus Sabalenka semi-final US Open was the highest level match we've seen. Like, that was ridiculous, that level. Like, they were hitting the ball so hard. That just felt like the best level. Why is Keys Swiatek? It was just, had all the drama. Even like Keys Sabalenka final, but Keys Swiatek, you had the match point saved by Keys, the drama of a finals at tiebreak. It just had, and it was a Grand Slam semi, so the stakes were super high. Plus, Keys went on to win the title, which probably added to that win even more, right? You save match points and then you win the title. It's like, that's huge. More than the Coco final, yeah, because Sabalenka didn't play as well. What is it, Papa? Say hi. What is it? Oh, what's up? What's up? You want to say hi? You want to say hello? Go on. What's up? But yeah, remember, because the best quality match has to be both players playing well. If you want the best quality all round. If you wanted to, like, Coco was great in that final, but Sabalenka was not great. But Pegula and Sabalenka played a crazy level in the semis of the US. What are you doing? Where are you going? No, don't press the buttons. Don't press the buttons. By the way, Chad, I watched a movie called Crazy as Hell. So weird. It was weird. It was a strange one. It was strange. It was a strange movie. Was Sabalenka hitting 70 unforced errors? That was the final of the French, yeah. One of them, yeah. I mean, she's had some bad matches this year, Sabalenka. All right. Vacherot serving first in the second. 15 love. $15 love. Vacherot serves again. Serving to the backhand of Rinderknech. Goes in the net in the return. 30 love. $30 love. $30 love. As the return goes in by Rinderknech. Federer liked it. 30-15. $30-15. Seven to the back of Rinderknech. Forehand from Vacherot is Rinderknech forehand again at the back of Vacherot. And Vacherot puts it in the net on the forehand. And we get to 30-all. If you can make it your own Six King Slam, who would you invite? Current active players? I'll do active players only. I would say the best Six King Slam we could have is Alcaraz, Sinner, Djokovic. Oh, man. Fritz, Shelton, Draper. Or Alcaraz, Sinner, Djokovic, Shelton, Draper, Rune. That would be my choice. Fritz and Zverev are great, but I would love to see Shelton, Draper, Rune try and take on Djokovic, Sinner, and Alcaraz. That would be fun. Shelton, Draper, Rune would be my choice. Even though Fritz very unlucky not to make the cut. Because Fritz has been very good. I mean, Fritz could be... I mean, we'll see next week. Maybe Fritz can win the whole thing. Who knows? But yeah, I would say I would love to see Shelton, Draper, Rune, because I don't think they fear Alcaraz and Sinner the same way as most of those other guys do. I think they play against Sinner and Alcaraz, and even against Djokovic a little bit. They all play fearless. So yeah, I think I would love to see Draper, Shelton, and Rune. Not Rune, I prefer Fritz. Well, the question was, who would I pick? Not who you don't have. It's my choice. They asked me. Now, who would you want? You want Fritz? You can have Fritz. All right, one love. How many thing Sinners pulls out? What? Retired games? Huh? What do you mean? I don't understand the question. Anyways, 15 love. As Rinderknech serves an ace. 30 love. 30 love. Angel.
Do you think Vacherot will get any break points?
I have no idea. But thank you for the $2. 40 love. Maybe one if Rinderknech gets nervous. And then he says another ace, Rinderknech, and it's 1-all in the second. All right, 1-1. All right, first serve was a fault, second serve. As that goes in by Rinderknech, and it's 15 love. As Vacherot gives a 30 love. Good serving again, 40 love. Love. As Vacherot serves a fault, second serve. And the return goes out by Rinderknech, and it's 2-1. All right. I think Fed Herd came yesterday. Where's Federer? Yeah, he's rocked up today. He must be giving out the trophy, right? He must be giving out the trophy. Am I streaming the Duckworth game? No. Why would I stream the Duckworth game? Is he playing? I don't even know he's playing. All right. Oh, man. So in about an hour, we've got Gauff versus Pegula up over in Wuhan. Are you streaming Tomic and challenges today? No, I am not. So excited for the women's final. Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. It's going to be great. All right. 2-1 Vacherot in the second. By the way, those who are saying that a 6 Queen Slam would be great, we already have that. It's called the WTA Finals. 2-1. There's no Saudi Arabia are not going to make an event for the ladies because they have an event called the WTA Finals. That's why they won't make a 6 Queen Slam because they don't need one. They already have that. If they had the ATP Finals, they probably wouldn't make the 6 King Slam. You know what I mean? Less money with the finals? No, it's not. It's heaps of money. They pour a lot of money into the WTA Finals. Not as much as the 6 King Slam, because they've got to pay doubles players and also got to pay 8 players instead of 6. And also the alternates get paid, so there's 10 players that get paid as opposed to 6. But they still get paid a lot. Last year was I think the biggest prize pool for the WTA Finals in the history. The winner gets possibly over $5 million for the win. So it's still pretty damn lucrative. 40-15. Yeah, Coco, she won over $4 million for winning the WTA Finals, which was a 70% raise in prize money from the year before. Which is crazy. So yeah, they don't need a 6 Queen Slam because they've already got the WTA Finals is basically that. And the return from Vacherot goes long, and it's 2-0 in the second. Oh, man. Ugh. Streaming at the end of the day, I'm noticing, is very much harder to do than streaming in the middle of the night. Doing like heaps of stuff all day and then coming to stream at night is definitely not as easy. Not as easy as streaming first thing in the morning. All right. All right, 15 love. Lovely volley from Vacherot as he serves again. A fault, second serve. Let on the second serve. And the return goes out by Rinderknech. That's 30 love. First serve is a fault, second serve. As Vacherot wins the point with a winner, and it's 40 love. Why do you have Dubai on the time zone and not the time zone of the place that we're playing, i.e. Shanghai? Because then I'd have to change it like every week, and I'll probably forget, and then you'll yell at me again. So I'm just like leaving it. I'm just getting a general place, like general time zones. Because if I put Shanghai time, then I'll forget to do it for the next one. And then also what happens when we're watching Wuhan, or next week we're going to be watching China, Japan, and there's tournaments in Europe. Like, how am I going to... it is what it is. Chad, I wouldn't mind having the time zone of the place. I just know that I'll probably forget. And if I forget, then it's useless anyway. 3-2, Vacherot in the second. This tournament has proven now that Zverev and Fed were wrong. The courts were made to favour the cousins, not Synchraz. I know that was a joke, so I'm not going to respond with a serious answer. All right. As the camera finds people in the crowd, and they wave because they're on the big screen. I'm not watching right now. How is the quality of the match? It's all right. It's competitive. Oh, Federer's on the screen. Everybody's cheering. Nope, there's Roger. And he waves and everyone loses their minds. All right, 3-2. All right. Rinderknech wins the first one, 15 love. Love. And with a 4-4 rally. Rinderknech hits it in the net. 15-0. There's a way to automate the time zone display to match the location of the tournament you are streaming. Yes. If not, it's not worth it. Yeah, it's not. I can't do that. I would have to manually change it every time. And I don't want to do that. I don't think anybody has mentioned it ever. So it's never been a problem for anybody until today. As Rinderknech is a lovely drop shot winner. It's 30-15. And like I said, we watch tournaments all around the world at the same time. So it's... Yeah. It would just get confusing if I couldn't do it. Like if we're watching Mexico and we're watching Dubai and I can't put them both, then it would just be a pain in the ass. I don't think Dubai's bad to have because it's middle of the world. Yeah. And it's 30-15. Is it a 4-1 winner from Rinderknech? And it's 40-15. 40-15. 20 winners from Rinderknech in this match. 40-15. Serve as a fault, second serve. By the way, chat, I'm so addicted to reading this Ozzy Osbourne book. I would highly recommend it. If you like to read, I would highly recommend getting Ozzy Osbourne's new autobiography. It's so good. If I didn't start reading like every night after streams at like 1 a.m, I'd probably sit down and read 5 hours straight and try and finish it. But it's so good. It is so good. It may. I have a lot of things I have on the reading that I want to read. After I read this book. It's new. Yeah, it came out like a couple of days ago. Did he write it before he died? Yeah, he apparently 48 hours before he died, he finished it. So yeah, it's a biography. It's like a biography because he did a biography, which I'm gonna go find the first one he did, which was so this is his second one of like the last like 7 years. So this one starts in like 2008. And he talks about everything up until now. So then I'm going to have to find the first one. But yeah, it just came out. There's a one, I've got to get I Am Aussie. That's but it's called Last Rites. It's very good. And then I guess the next one I'm going to read is his first one. Called I Am Aussie. I think that's his first book. Must be. But yeah, it's very good. If you're into music and stuff, you should definitely read it. Love 15. Rinderknech trying to break. But Vacherot hits a great serve, 15-0. As that goes out by Rinderknech, 30-15. As that goes in the net by Vacherot, and it's 30-all. Chance for Rinderknech to break. As with a fault second serve. As with a forehand from Rinderknech. Vacherot with a pass. Rinderknech volley in the net. 40-30. As with a backhand from Vacherot, and then Rinderknech in the net. And it's 4-3. Vacherot stays in front. Okay. All right. The name Ozzy Osbourne always reminds me of Norman Osborn. I read too much comics. True. You do. Okay. Does Australia have time saving hours or fixed all year? No, we have daylight savings and it's shit. Stupidest thing I've ever heard. Daylight savings is so annoying. I'm still haven't recovered. It's been a week and I still am like all over the place. Daylight savings sucks. I lost an hour and I just haven't gotten it back yet. It's crazy. I'm still tired. Do you think this final will matter in the long run? Matter how? What do you mean matter in what way? Like, will the winner of this go on and win a slam? I don't know. I think that if Rinderknech wins this, it'll cap off what's been a career best season for him, right? He's had a great year already. He's played some great tennis. And then will people care? I think if Vacherot won as a qualifier, that would be memorable. It would go down in history as one of the best runs ever, right? But Rinderknech, it would cap off a great year. But I don't know. Will it be memorable? I don't know. If they go on to do more things, then probably it'd be maybe more memorable, but don't you like the increased daylight? No, I would rather it be daylight for 6 hours and nighttime for 18. Come on. Are you kidding me? Increased daylight hours is terrible. All right. Vacherot hits a winner, 15-0. Hard disagree. If we didn't have daylight savings in the UK, it would be light at 3 a.m. in summer and dark by 9 a.m. in winter. I have no idea what that meant. That didn't make any sense to me in my head. Are you talking? So wait, it gets light at 4 a.m. in the UK? Is that what you're saying? All right, 15-0. As that goes out by Vacherot, 30-15. $30-15. The sun makes you happy? Well, too bad. Go outside then. 30-15. Daylight savings to make the morning brighter? Yes, I don't like the morning. I hate mornings. I don't like mornings. I like the nighttime. As that goes out by Rinderknech, 30-0. It's necessary in places close to the poles, Cam. Okay, well, they can have it. Why do we have to have it? Australia doesn't need it then. We are not at the South Pole. 30-0. As the backhand return goes the backhand of Vacherot. Drop shot from Rinderknech goes wide. There's your break point. Whoever that said that before. You want Vacherot to have a break point? He's got a break point right now. 30-40. 30-40. First break point of the match for Vacherot. Ow. 30-40. Down, Mia. Down. $30-40. As Rinderknech with an ace. Deuce. Don't repeat the official propaganda and think you explained anything. Don't use big words, all right? Try and sound smart. Your name is Yes. All right, bro? Your name is Yes. If you had a serious name, I'd take you seriously. As that goes wide by Vacherot. And it's advantage Rinderknech. Advantage Rinderknech. First serve is a fault. Second serve. As the return is too strong by Vacherot, and it's deuce. All right. Deuce. Federer just sitting there smiling. He's just chilling. Deuce. Is it a 4-4 rally? Vacherot again, the 4 of Rinderknech. As Vacherot at the back end of Rinderknech. The back end of Vacherot. As Rinderknech back into the net. Advantage Vacherot. You know why he's happy? Because Djokovic is in the final. I'm kidding. All right. Advantage Vacherot to get the break. Advantage Vacherot. Second break point of the match for him. He still hasn't broken. Advantage Vacherot. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the back of Vacherot. Back in now from Rinderknech. Vacherot down the line. Winner! He's fired up. All right. Vacherot gets the break. With a beautiful backhand winner. That's what he did against Djokovic yesterday. He's been playing a bit timid, Vacherot. Up until this point. 5-3. Now he's going to serve to take us to a third. All right, 5-3. Vacherot. And the return goes to Valentin Vacherot. Forehand now from Rinderknech as Vacherot goes with a forehand passing shot winner. 15-love. 15-love. Cam doesn't make any sense that Nole continues to play. Yes. Yes. 15-love. Vacherot serves. A fault. Second serve. As the return goes out by from Rinderknech, and it's 30-love. $30-love. $30-love. Vacherot serves again. Into the forehand of Rinderknech, and Vacherot puts it in the net on the forehand. It's 30-15. $30-15. As the forehand goes in the backhand of Rinderknech, Vacherot backhand. The forehand of Rinderknech into the backhand of Vacherot. Slice now from Vacherot goes the backhand slice of Rinderknech into the forehand of Vacherot as Rinderknech backhand to the backhand of Vacherot. Again to the backhand slice of Rinderknech. Vacherot forehand cross court. Rinderknech gets on the stretch. It's in the net though. And it's 40-15. Set points for Vacherot to take us to a third. All right. 40-15. Set points. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Serving to the forehand of Rinderknech. Backing out from Vacherot to the forehand of Rinderknech. Drop shot in the net. We're going 3. Vacherot wins a second. 6-3. We're going to a third. All right. Nole wants to win tournaments, looks difficult, so why not retire? Yeah, great advice. You know, yeah, if something's hard, you should give up on and just do something else. Great advice. That's great advice, yeah. Yeah. You want to become a doctor? Nah, probably too hard. You should just retire. Like, Djokovic isn't the giving up type. Yeah, just give up on your dreams. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Great advice. I want to win tennis tournaments. Gonna be tough. Yeah, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll give up. Maybe I'll retire instead. Come on. All right. 7 winners, 10 errors from Rinderknech. 5 winners, 6 errors from Vacherot. Rinderknech level definitely dropped in that second set. Djokovic made 4 Grand Slams semi-finals and people want him to retire. Yeah. Nola has different dreams. He won everything. Think about that. Yeah, I should think about that. Maybe I'll do that later. I think it's more like trying to be a doctor at 60. Yeah, you should give up on that too. I thought Rinderknech was making it easy for Vacherot to ease into the match. Okay. Yep, I do know they're cousins. That's just been the story of the last 24 hours. That these two guys are cousins. One thing definite, big three don't like to reach only semi-finals because the other two stopped because when they couldn't win. Yeah, but the other two also were way more injured than Djokovic. Like, Federer couldn't play because of his knee. Like, his knee was way too bad. He couldn't even play. I mean, he didn't even get to play one... He couldn't even play one singles match in his farewell weekend. And Nadal could barely move the way that he was playing. He couldn't play the way he wanted. Like, both of those guys retired because of the injuries they got. And how that... they couldn't play the same as they wanted to play. Djokovic still plays very much the same as he's been playing. Yes, he gets injured more because he's older. Yes, he looked a bit sick this week, but that's also because Shanghai has been pretty brutal, the weather-wise. But Djokovic still plays the same game that he was playing, or at least we can still see glimpses of what he was doing 2-3 years ago. He's not slower it doesn't look any slower. He just gets a little bit more injured. And he's, a little bit more fatigued by the time we get to the end of the tournaments. But totally different situation, Nadal and Federer. Now, if Djokovic's knee injury last year meant that he couldn't run as fast as he used to, and he couldn't get to the shots that he used to be able to get to, that would be a problem. But he doesn't seem to be slower. He can still do those splits and hit those crazy shots. He hasn't lost a step really. Like, he has, he's not going to be able to do that for 5 hours every day. But I think Nadal and Federer were way more, I don't know what the word is, but they were way more affected by their injuries than Djokovic is to this point. Like, Nadal didn't look the same when he came back, right? He didn't look the same. It was hard to watch Rafa at times because he just couldn't get to the ball. When we were like, oh, he's going to run for the shot, he just couldn't get there. He just couldn't get to the shot. He couldn't do what he did. And then Federer we didn't even get to see because Federer couldn't even make the court in singles because his knee was not good. Murray was the same. Yeah, Murray was the same, right? Murray just couldn't, he just couldn't do it anymore. Djokovic isn't in that position yet. So I don't know why people would want him to retire because he's not winning everything anymore and he's not dominating, but he's still, he gets injured in these matches sometimes, but he doesn't, overall, Djokovic hasn't, when he's playing well, he doesn't look any different to 3 years ago. And he's lost to Sinner and Alcaraz in the Grand Slam semis except for the Australian Open. I mean, that's not a bad Yeah. You're losing to the two top guys who are clearly the best two in the planet. Now, if he's losing to guys like Fritz or Zverev or, guys lower in the top 10 that he doesn't usually lose to at slams, that would be an issue. But he's not. He's losing to the guys that are winning them. So, yeah, he lost to Zverev. He lost to Zverev in Australia, but the other three slams, he lost to Sinkeraz. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think Djokovic should retire. Why, though? Why would you want him to retire? Why do you think he should retire? Unless you're afraid of him, fading away and slowly dropping and then, 2 years from now, he's, slowly dropped down to number 50 and he's not as good as he was. That wouldn't be fun to watch. But he's not there at all. He doesn't look like he's... every time Djokovic loses, this conversation comes up. Every time. He loses the men's chick in the final in Miami. Oh, my God, why is he still playing? He loses to Sinner or Alcaraz at the slams. Why does he still play? He loses this week. Why is he still playing? Why do we always have to have this, retirement conversation around Djokovic every time he plays as Federer starts eating? He's eating ice cream. They put the camera on his face. And now he's just trying to... he's trying to eat, the poor man. Let's let the man eat. So yeah, I don't get why people want to retire Djokovic. Who cares if he isn't as good as he was? I'd go see Wawrinka play a 250 or a challenger event any day. Yeah, but I don't think Djokovic is... Look, I don't think Novak's the... He is not going to let his ranking drop. And he is not going to continue if he does feel like he's sliding backwards. But again, he's barely played this year, and he's still number 4 in the world. He's still a contender at slams. Why would he retire? Why would he retire? If he's still competitive and a contender and top 5. Why would he do that? Why would he retire? And why would people want him to retire? Do we need to talk about him this much today? Well, yeah, somebody asked. Somebody said something about retirement and just trying to wait for this toilet break, which is taking forever. To spend time with his family. So you want him to spend time with his family. You're concerned about Djokovic's family. He's not getting enough time with him. Is that what you're worried about that, are you? You're very considerate. There's nothing more to prove. That's true. There is nothing more to prove. But we don't have Rafa, we don't have Roger. And what? No Andy and then no Novak? That's the end of the era. You want the end of the era? He's the last one. I feel like no Djokovic fan is wanting him to retire. And I'm not saying that if you think he should retire, you're a hater, because that's not true. Because there's a difference between a hater and people that are sort of neutral, right? But I don't think many Djokovic fans are going, yeah, he should retire. Most Djokovic fans are going, he's going to win 25. They're definitely not talking retirement. They're going, he could win Australia. He just has to, play this guy. Do that, That's what the serious Djokovic fans are talking about. I mean, they're talking about LA Olympics in 3 years, right? All right, we're back on court. Why should he continue? Thomas, I've just explained it for the last 5 minutes, mate. Can you maybe just listen a little bit? I've literally just explained it. He made all of the Grand Slam semis, which technically makes him one of the 4th best players in the slams, at least. Plus, he is number 4 in the world. He made the Miami final, where he lost to a better guy in the final. He's been competitive against everybody except for Sinner, Alcaraz, but nobody's been competitive consistently against them anyway. He's beaten guys like Fritz and Zverev this year at slams. I think Djokovic just needs to play a little more so that he doesn't have these injuries like this week, right? Had he have played it's hard to say because there's nothing to play between now and maybe if he played last week. But I just think that if he's not playing enough, then when he does come back, there's going to be rust, and he's going to try and, it's a balance, right, between overplaying and not playing. Like if you play too much, then you might get injured. But if you don't play enough, then when you do play and you put yourself in those really tough situations in the slams, and that's all you do, then how are you going to be able to win 5-setters every day? The schedule is so important for Djokovic at this age. Maybe he should get rid of one of the parts of the schedule, like Federer did, right? Don't play the clay or don't play whatever. All right, love 30. All right, that's enough about Djokovic. As Vacherot serves, as we are serving volley from Rinderknech, and then the backhand winner by Vacherot, love 40 to take the break. Love 40. Novak will retire on his own terms. The disrespect is beyond my mind's reach. Seriously. Yeah. I don't think saying that he should retire is disrespectful. More it's just why? I asked why. As that goes out by Vacherot on the return at 15:40. I don't understand people wanting him to finish. Why do you want him to finish? What are you scared? Are you afraid that he's not gonna that he's gonna be remembered as someone who lost to Vacherot in a semifinal of Shanghai? Or are you just I'm sick of Djokovic, I want him gone? Because it could be either or. You could be worried that he's not gonna be remembered as the greatest of all time and finish on top. But that's not going to be true because he is going to be remembered as a greatest of all time. Or you just want him gone because you're sick of him. Which feels like a lot more people that say, hey, you should retire is on that camp. Being I'm sick of Djokovic. Can you just retire? Oh, he's injured now. Yeah, he should retire. You know what I mean? If you give me a reason why he should retire. Because his results... They're not 2023 results, but they're not bad. Backhand to backhand rally. 30-40 here is... Oh, Vacherot with a backhand pass. And he breaks. 1 love. 1 love in the third. People don't ask Stan to retire. Exactly. And he's playing challenges. So, yeah, no one's saying Wawrinka should retire. You're right. I don't remember people saying that... Roger retired kind of out of nowhere because I don't think anyone is expecting him to retire. Andy definitely got a lot of retirement talk because it was so hard to watch him play because he just didn't look the same as he did. And Rafa as well. Rafa didn't look the same, and it was hard to watch Rafa at the end of his career because it was man, you could just tell he just couldn't do what he used to do. But Djokovic, besides getting injured, I don't think Djokovic looks any, if Djokovic looks slower than he used to or looked he was hobbling around and he couldn't do stuff, then I'd be oh man, this is hard to watch. But yeah. All right, so Thomas, you just don't like Djokovic, right? Can we just establish that? Vacherot, 15 love. All right, ladies' final starting in a second as well. So double header. Luckily, I was prepared. Because the WTA and ATP, I thought, if there was 3 hours between matches, maybe we'd get them done. But Wuhan can't push their matches any later because otherwise it would be too late. But we've got Gauff taking on Pegula as well in our double header for the evening. All right, 30 love. Vacherot breaks final set. We got a fault second serve. Vacherot forehand. Hits the corner. 40 love. 40 love. Forty love. All right, Vacherot holds. And it's 2 love. Final set. All right. 2 love. 2 love. You know what I might watch after this chat? I might watch Hocus Pocus. I feel like it's a Hocus Pocus sort of night. 2 love. As a return goes into the forehand of Rinderknech. Vacherot with a pass. Rinderknech volleys it back. And then, another volley by Rinderknech, but winner down the line by Vacherot. Love 15. Love 15. The original, not the sequel, the original. All right, 30. 50, sorry, love 15. The second one's okay. It's not as good as the original, but it's all right. A lot of callbacks. As Rinderknech double faults love 30, and he screams at himself as well. All right, love 30. I wonder if they'll delay the final in Wuhan to get this match over and done with, so then Wuhan is on its own. I wonder if they're going to do that. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Delay the final by 20 minutes. I love 30. Love 30. As Rinderknech serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes into the backhand of Rinderknech. Rinderknech hits it in the net. Love 40. Vacherot is showing the depth in the men's game does exist. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Like, yes and no. Love 40. Love 40. Serve to the back of Vacherot. Return the forehand of Rinderknech, and he hits a winner. 15-40. 15-40. $15.40. As the return goes in the backhand of Rinderknech, and he hits a volley winner to finish the point, 30-40. Have you seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Yes. Of course. Of course, I've seen all the classics. Come on. Come on now. 30-40. Ace out wide. All right, we get the deuce. How are they cousins? because they're related. All right, deuce. Their sister, their mums are sisters. All right, deuce. We let from Rinderknech. Oh, god damn. As a return, goes into the backhand of Rinderknech. Four now from Vacherot. Rinderknech backhand slice as Vacherot hits a drop shot. Oh, it's more of a forehand slice, and then the winner by Rinderknech is too good down the line. And he's trying to fire up the crowd. He needs it. Advantage Rinderknech. Get some rest, buddy. Bro, we're halfway through today's matches. What do you mean, rest? I will sleep when I'm dead. Which I'm hoping is not soon. I think they're delaying the Wuhan final. All right, good serving. Rinderknech needed that game from Love 40. All right, 2-1. Vacherot has the break. All right, let's get this doubleheader started because the ladies are probably going to be on soon as well. Big day of tennis. All right, welcome everybody. We've got a doubleheader going on. Shanghai final is coming to an end, and Wuhan. We're watching Pegula taking on Gauff, which is a great matchup. Great final between two players who have already qualified for the WTA finals. So a little bit of a preview into what we might be seeing in a couple of weeks in Saudi Arabia, but 4-2 Pegula is the head-to-head. Last time they played, Gauff won, but Pegula had a problem with her knee or her leg, I think it was, back in the WTA finals last year when they played. So let's see how they look. Both completely different roads to the final. One of them, Pegula, 3-setters all the way, and then Gauff has won straight sets pretty easily every single match. So it's going to be interesting. How much does Pegula have left in the tank? But also, what's going to happen if Gauff gets challenged? Because she hasn't been challenged all week. So we're going to find out. It's a very fun final. But we've still got Shanghai going on. Vacherot has the break. 2-1. As Vacherot serves an ace, 15-love. There might be chance for Rinderknech to be defeated deliberately to raise ranking of Vacherot. Nah. Nah. See, that's you're thinking a little too deep. That's a bit too much. You know what I mean? Like that's someone who's like, I had too much time on my hands and I thought about this way too hard. No. It's not. It's definitely not that deep. There's no grand conspiracy. All right. Don't overthink it. You know. 30-love. As the return goes in the forehand of Vacherot. Forehand winner. Into the corner. 40-love. Love. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. Tennis needs Sinkeraz. Tennis needs players to beat Sinkeraz. That's what we need. That's what tennis needs. All right, Vacherot, 3-1 in the final set. Tennis needs players to beat Sinkeraz. That's what tennis needs. Tennis needs more Sinkeraz finals, French Open finals. No, that would be bad for the sport. That would not be good, because then everything before that match, nobody would watch. Nobody cares. We need more. We need more competition between everybody and them. If it's just those two on an island, it's going to be everything else is going to be so boring. We need Sinkeraz to be challenged, and they have been at times, just not consistently. But I tell you, 12 months from now, you give 12 months to Draper, you give 12 months to Shelton. Those two are the ones that the two guys that I think are the closest, and even Rune. Give 12 months to those three guys, and I reckon this time next year, when we come to Shanghai next year, I think we're going to be talking a lot different. We're going to be saying, Sinkeraz is great, but he's got Sinner and Alcaraz have to watch out for this guy and this guy and this guy, right? I think those are the three guys right now that they've proven that they can push them. We've seen that Draper he beat Alcaraz. We haven't seen him play Sinner recently, but I would love to see that next year. And obviously Shelton has pushed Alcaraz a couple of times. I think on a fast court could be really interesting as Sinner. And Rune obviously has beaten both of them. So those are the three guys we need. We need those. And in 12 months, maybe those guys are maybe that's a 5, right? That's the top 5 in the world. Who knows? Hey, Lexi, welcome back. 15-0. $15-all. As we serve into the forehand of Vacherot, and then a terrible drop shot from Rinderknech. All right. 15-30. 15-30. Chance for a double break. All right, 15-30. As Rinderknech serves into the forehand of Vacherot. Forehand from Rinderknech as Vacherot hits a winner down the line. He wants it more. 15-40. Vacherot wants it more for the double break in this final set. All right, 15-40. Nope. Rinderknech just got a time violation. And the ladies are on court getting ready to warm up for the final of Wuhan. All right. For a double break. 7 to the forehand of Vacherot. Return the backhand of Rinderknech. Vacherot slice. But Rinderknech volleys it away. 30-40. $30-40. $30-40. Serve again. There's a fault. Second serve. Second serve, the back of Vacherot. Return is short. Rinderknech comes to net. Vacherot pass. Rinderknech drop volley. Winner. Deuce. All right, deuce. As Rinderknech serves. A fault. Second serve. Into the backhand of Vacherot. Backhand now from Rinderknech into the forehand of Vacherot. Rinderknech backhand in the net. Advantage Vacherot to get the double break. Advantage Vacherot. Hey, Minoris, thank you for becoming a legendary member. Appreciate that. As Rinderknech serves a fault. Second serve. Vacherot's girlfriend is crossing all her fingers. All right, advantage Vacherot. Second serve. Rinderknech. Into the back of Vacherot. Return into the forehand of Rinderknech, who hits a winner. Back to deuce. Back to deuce. By the way, Chad, in the women's final, who do you want to win the final? Who do you want to win the final? All right, back to deuce here. Rinderknech serves. Into the forehand of Vacherot. Forehand from Rinderknech in the back of Vacherot. Into the forehand of Rinderknech is Vacherot forehand slice. Rinderknech forehand again to the forehand of Vacherot. Volley from Rinderknech, too good. Advantage Rinderknech. Pegula, Gauff, Pegula. Okay. A lot of people going Pegula. Love that. A lot of people saying Coco as well, though. Love that too. I picked Gauff to win, but I don't really mind. I think it's... If Pegula won after beating Sabalenka, that would be a very impressive title. Probably her most impressive title. But Gauff winning after her, like, since the French Open not being good, even though that's not true, she's been okay. But if she wins a title just before the WTA finals, that would be huge, you know? Yeah. It's a good fight. It's a great final. All right, we get to deuce. Rinderknech just can't hold serve. All right, deuce. As the return goes in, the forehand of Rinderknech. Forehand out from Vacherot sliced. Rinderknech volley goes wide. Advantage Vacherot. Advantage Vacherot to take the double break final set. All right. Coco serving first in the final. I've got Gauff in 3. Advantage Vacherot. As Rinderknech serves an ace. Whoops. Deuce. Great volley from Pegula and then passing shot winner by Gauff. What a rally to start the match. All right. These two ladies trying to play match of the year. Hello. Haven't played all year, by the way. Love 15. Oh, sorry, 15 Love. First time they've played. I'm trying to think. I wonder how many, and we'll research this in a second as Rinderknech gets to advantage. How many of the top 10 have these two ladies played? Because I feel like, except for Raducanu versus Gauff, I feel like every other top 10 player has played these ladies once. They both played Sabalenka, they both played Swiatek, they both played Paolini, they both played Anisimova, I think. They both played Andreeva, I think. Maybe not. Maybe Gauff hasn't played Andreeva this year. They both played Keys, I'm pretty sure. Maybe. As Rinderknech holds, man, this guy just doesn't want to get double broken. He still down a break, but he's just hanging on for dear life. 30 love Gauff. So it goes out by Pegula, 40 love. All right, 40 love. First game of the final. Also, trainer out for Rinderknech. All right. Gauff holds, 1 love. All right. Medical timeout for Rinderknech. All right. Medical timeout. Medical timeout. For a back injury. Sorry, back problem. For Rinderknech. All right, love 15. Gauff hasn't lost a point. As Pegula slice goes wide. Love 30. Love 30. I've had diarrhea all weekend. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy you told us that. Thank you for letting us know your bowel movements. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm sure a lot of people were very concerned and happy that you're here, but we're wondering if you're off the toilet. All right, 15:30. By the way, chat, tomorrow we have a day off, I think. Potentially. A what? No tennis tomorrow? What? What do you mean? Anyway, it's 30-all. Pegula trying to get on the board. Actually, I lied. We're probably going to watch tomorrow. We're going to watch something tomorrow, I'm sure. Probably. Oh, no, maybe not. Anyways, 30-40, Gauff with a chance to break. Yeah, actually, no, we're probably not going to watch anything. Actually, no, Osaka plays tomorrow. I lied. We're watching Osaka tomorrow. We're watching Naomi Osaka tomorrow. In Osaka. That lady in Shanghai, she's loving it. She's just singing into her beer. Let's go. Anyways, the return goes out by Pegula and Gauff breaks. 2-love. Eala, I think, is playing Tuesday. All right, 2-love. 2-0. Sunday drunk. God, love Sunday sessions were great. Anyways, 3-2, Vacherot. Rinderknech's back issue, so we'll see how he does in the second half of the final set here. And Gauff's already off to a great start, 2-love. You're not going to watch Stockholm, Almaty, or Brussels? Nah. Those tournaments are not important right now. They're not as important right now. Yeah. Like, the WTA is coming to an end. So, like, the finals are coming up. And next week could determine who makes the finals. Whereas on the men's side, next week, nothing, like 250 events don't, they'll help them, but they won't determine who makes the finals. Yet. But Basel and Vienna the week after, we're definitely watching those two tournaments. 40-love as Vacherot serves an ace. All right, 4-2 final set. Oh, you were kidding. Oh, okay. My Australian? Yes. All right. Coco with the break already. 2-love. Pegula with a forehand winner, though. Return from Pegula to the back of the Gauff, back into Pegula into the back of the Gauff. It's Pegula forehand into the net, 30-15. Yeah, Basel and Vienna are going to be great. The Six Kings Slam, will you watch that? Yeah, I'll watch that. Just not the 250 events next week. They're not. I mean, look, we're not going to watch them unless the matches, become interesting. So, like, unless, we get one of those, a classic match. If we get, I don't know. Like, if Musetti makes the final and plays FAA, or Fonseca plays somebody, like he's playing next week, or maybe we watch Stockholm if it's Rune versus Rude final or something, All of those matches have some significance, but 40-30. Sorry, 40-30 Gauff to go to 3-love. All right. Uh, 40-30, that goes out by Pegula, and Gauff goes to 3-love. All right. $40-15. Coco's up 3-love already. And Vacherot hits it in the net. And Rinderknech holds. All right, 4-3, Vacherot. All right. Cool. Three love Coco. All right, love 15. There's Gauff. With a forehand cross court into the forehand of Pegula. Gauff with the forehand into the net. And it's 15-all. Vacherot, he's 2 games away from one of the most historic 1,000 title runs of all time. One of the craziest runs. All right. 30 love. Also 15-30. Chance for a break straight away. A double break straight away for Coco. She is flying. 30-all though. All right, Vacherot, 30 love. So we're backhand now from Rinderknech. Backhand of Vacherot to the backhand of Rinderknech. There's Vacherot forehand to slice of Rinderknech. There's Vacherot with another forehand. Rinderknech hits it in the net. 40 love. That's Pegula backhand to the forehand of Gauff. Into the backhand of Pegula. Gauff with the backhand. Again to the backhand of Pegula. Pegula in the net. 30-40. 30-40. All right. 30-40. To take the double break, Coco. All right. 40-30. All right. Vacherot holds. And it's five games to 3. He's 1 game away from history. All right. Pegula holds 3-1. Rinderknech serving to stay in the match, and he hits a forehand long, love 15. Hey, thank you, Dexiang, for the $5. Appreciate that. Thank you. There's a bit of serve out wide from Rinderknech. It's a fault second serve. As Rinderknech can't get that one. Vacherot wants to finish it now. Love 30. Love 30. Love 30. Two points away. As Vacherot just laughs because Rinderknech hit the ball so hard. 15-30. By the way, we will get to the ladies' match soon. Once this men's match is done. Coco's up 30-15. There's a fault from Rinderknech. Second serve. Serve to the backhand of Vacherot. Backing out Rinderknech as Vacherot down the line. Rinderknech forehand. Goes long. Championship points for the quali from Monaco. This is historic. This is an historic moment. It might not be the final that we all wanted, but this will be a run that is remembered forever. To be the lowest ranked player to win a 1,000 title since it was created in 1990, these tournaments, or this tier level of event. As a return from Vacherot goes wide, 30-40. Gauff hits a backhand wide, 40-30. Still championship point. Serving to the forehand of Vacherot. Return the forehand of Rinderknech. Vacherot passing shot. Winner! Wow! The quali does it. And he's in tears. Knocks out his cousin in the final. Rinderknech is smiling. They hug it out. Wow. What did we just watch? What a run. He beats Rune. He beats Djokovic. I think he played, 2 quali matches and 7 main draws, so 9 matches to win the title. Biggest title of his career, obviously. But massive boost in the rankings. Wow. Vacherot does it. It didn't even look tired. He played so many 3-setters too this week. Didn't even look tired. Crazy. All right. Slice from Gauff. Up goes a lob by Pegula, but Gauff puts away the smash. Advantage. Man, what a run. What a tournament by Vacherot. Yeah, fairy tale. That is, yeah. That will be remembered. That run. That will be remembered. Man. All right, we'll merge the streams in a second. Coco trying to get to 4-1. As Gauff serves. A fault. Second serve. As Gauff double faults, and we're back to deuce. All right, deuce. As Coco serves again. As with a forehand slice from Pegula goes wide, and it's advantage Coco. All right, advantage Gauff. It's got a 4-1. As the return goes out by Pegula, and Gauff goes to 4-1. All right, we're going to merge the streams, but Vacherot wins. Quali wins a 1,000. Huge title run. And he beats his cousin in the final 4-6, 6-3, 6-3. Jump on over. We're going to watch... Peter, what's up?
He will be an unseeded dangerous player at A26.
I mean, he might be seeded if he has a good run at the end of the year. But yeah, thank you for the 5. All right, jump on over to watch Gauff Pegula. It's just getting started. All right.